have only 66 days to live. Just run away. It won't make any difference at the end of the day. You know better than anyone else.
Number 1, coming straight out of the PlayStation showcase from last week, just in case you missed it, because I like to think this is really worth a mention, we've got here a totally brand new IP called Phantom Blade Zero, guys. This is, you'll come to notice, a third-person action RPG, Souls-like samurai style to an extent, semi-open world game, where you play as an assassin, surviving through his last days of dealing with a health issue, with the aim to get rid of all the evil in the world, whilst moving himself to the next one. Check it out, this game's said to be coming to the PCs and the PlayStation 5 only next year.
Only a dead person can keep a secret.
Going where? That damn place! You're suicidal!
One last toast, and we're all done.
Just, if you need to hear this twice, Team Ninja, has a pretty good reputation for new games ever since the last game. The folks are now, at the moment, bringing another samurai-style game called Rise of the Ronin. This is a PlayStation 5 exclusive by Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo together, promising a multi-layer story that showcases the 19th century-ish Japanese Ronin life. Simulation kind of game. Check it out, it's set to be released early to mid next year.
Ronin, a warrior free of all masters and bonds. I will watch over you all as your blades carve a new future. Your time has come.
Coming up behind that, we have Project The Perceiver, revealed for almost a year now as an open-world action RPG based on the Chinese Huanglou dynasty going back to the 2nd century and story, but in general considered as the most anticipated Unreal Engine 5 projects and action slashers in the making. Project Perceiver over here is an open world game actually, coming to the mobile devices even. I mean, that's rumored, but for sure coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5 by the end of the year, possibly.
두 눈을 감아도 보이는 수많은 sound of silence.
Number 4 by New Core. That's actually the same folks behind the old game I Am Zombie. We've got here a brand new game called The Devil Within, Sadgat. This now here is a 2D, 3D, as you can see, style action adventure this time around, where you take on a role of a warrior who's been infected by demon blood somehow, and so occasionally he lets some of that evil out to take care of the enemies. Here's a trailer. This is the only trailer we got. This game is coming to PCs, Switch, and all of the consoles as well around fall this year.
더 이상 뒤돌아보지 마. 오직 너만 깨울 수 있는 멈춰진 시간. Everything's gonna break up. 돌이킬 수 없는 세상을 볼 순 없어. 오직 너만 지킬 수 있는 세상. We're gonna wake up. 더러워진 그림자들을 지워버려. 이제 너만 바꿀 수 있는 이곳. 뒤돌아보지 마. 자라난 너의 두려움.
NCSoft number 5, I'm sure you know the Korean developers behind a dozen games in development at the moment. Around March this year, they came out with a reveal of a bunch of new games, but 2 huge samurai games with only cinematic trailers, going by the names Throne and Liberty and Project E. Project E over here, come to mention, is actually based and set on the same planet in the timeline as Thorn and Liberty. This is more of a horror game though in nature. Here's a trailer. Game's releasing sometime next year. Number 6 by Danchan Games. That's the same team behind PUBG, of course, you all know that. We've got here an open world ancient Chinese martial arts based action RPG in the making ever since last year, going by the name Code Tojin. I would like to think the greatest thing about this game here is that it's actually being built with the use of Unreal Engine 5. It's technically gonna get a ton of support because it's being developed by Tencent, one of the richest companies in the world. And last but not least, it's coming to PCs only by the end of the year we're here. Moving on, we have at number 7 since Gamescom last year. Another open world RPG action-adventure mix here set within the period of medieval China and partially inspired by Ghosts of Tsushima, something here called Where Winds Meet. I'm personally in love with this one, technically because it's a trailer. This game, however, doesn't really have a release date nor a window, only that it's a PC exclusive in its current state and that will be an open beta testing plan for it soon. We're here. Regarded as the biggest game project out of China in the making. It's either this or Honor of King's World, but Black Myth Wukong, a open-ended action RPG hack and slasher, of course Souls-like, is now releasing mid to late 2024. We actually heard in the third quarter of 2024. That is actually still a little bit over a year in case you're waiting on it. In any case, just the game is an adaptation of the Chinese novel Journey to the West and has received more than enough interest since its reveal. Coming up behind that, we've got over here once again Faith of Danchan Hereafter, which is a sequel to the 2017 original game, turn-based RPG that came our way once again a few months ago with the news that it'll be coming to PCs in addition to both generation of consoles somewhere between mid to late this year. Hereafter is actually one of the biggest projects out of China, technically speaking, and this time around, the game is actually an action RPG in nature. Take a look in case you missed it.
Even in hell.
Number 10, from a couple of months ago, we've got here, once again, Kingdom Blood. This is just in case you didn't come across with or missed out on. Technically based on Netflix Korean zombie series called Kingdom, the same, which is, I would have to be honest with you, one of the best Netflix shows out there, but it's only in 2 seasons, and actually a story-driven hack and slasher is what the game is all about, or in nature. Here's a quick trailer. The game is coming to PCs only, to Ultimate to late this year. Chang Fallen Feathers, on the other hand, is a somewhat indie-made Souls-like action RPG that started development about 2 years ago. This is heavily inspired by Bloodborne and Sekiro, about set in this Imperial China in the final years of the Ming Dynasty. Just take a look in case you missed it. A release date for this game is still yet to be announced. It is possible the game releases around October to November this year, and once it does, it'll be coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles only. That's all we know. Tecmo and Omega Force, there's a few other gaming companies here too, as one of the biggest projects of 2023 came out and announced this action RPG a couple of months ago going by the name Fate/Samurai Remnant. This is a visual novel action RPG anime and an entry point of a series apparently that looks like this. Here's a trailer. Game said to be coming to the PlayStation consoles, PCs and Switch only, worldwide by the end of the year.
察するに君が私の呼び人か。
At number 13, we have once again a game called Meifumado. Technically speaking, one of the most modern take on combats, classic style side-scrolling action RPG pixel art games in the making that's now on its way since its Kickstarter project, and still being funded however. It's coming to every single console, but first for PCs. Believe it or not, Meifumado is an open world Metroidvania action RPG, just like Castlevania games, about a tad more focused on story and atmosphere. Check it out.
When a samurai loses his master, he is required to perform seppuku, ritual suicide. They say we are men of dishonor for not choosing it.
Earlier in the year, around March, we also came across something called Ronin Samurai Redemption. What was described by its developers to be this story-driven action adventure that would be coming to PCs only, a PC exclusive. A pretty good looking game, that's what I got when I saw it. It's got potential, I'll say that. It's partly even a puzzle game, in addition to all the fights you see here. However, all you know is that the game might come out by the end of the year.
Hundreds died. And still the Emperor would not send aid. So, the local leaders turned to us. Now, we stand between the innocent and the forces of an ancient evil, using every skill we possess and the cold steel in our hands.
Around the same day, now only 2 years ago, Red Candle Games came up with the news that 9 Souls, not souls, but souls, has reached over $500,000 in the crowdfunding campaign that is about now 5 times its initial goal. And what they describe to be a lore-rich, this hand-drawn action platformer, I mean you can see, narrative-driven game that the company's been working on for over 2 years now. Here's a game, here's a new trailer, a game is coming to PCs, Switch and other consoles as well in about a few months.
This is a tale of the masterless and the dishonored, shed by the world and lost to the way of the samurai. They walk their own path.
Tale of Ronin at last is actually more of a spiritual journey rather than just a samurai game. I'm not really sure though, but I've heard that it's about a more sympathetic side of a samurai's life, where you play as a Ronin, mainly just has to survive the consequences of a slew of choices in a world of violence that he has to make. Well, believe it or not, this game's been in the making for over 4 years now. Technically speaking, it's now coming to PCs only, possibly the past generation of consoles as well, later on in the year.
Those who live a new life, or give theirs for honor. This is a tale of Ronin.
I'm preparing something that will help you.
Legends speak of samurai, fearless warriors capable of swiftly defeating their opponents with a single strike.
It's quite an ambitious bet, Jinmu. You think you can stop all these wars on your own?